Oh my gosh. Okay. There we go. Was good. All right. I had no idea I was even gonna go live, and I was like, okay, let me just like think about this. So let's talk. I just finished this conference. I was talking to you guys about like, oh my gosh, I have this conference coming up, and I'm really excited to go and see it. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about. Oh, sí. Okay, provecho. Hasta más tarde. Okay, see you. Um, okay, so sorry. Yeah, so I wanted to come back online and talk to you guys about my experience in the like understanding this experience, having a prophetic experience. Like this encounter was so powerful. Hold on 1 second. I think they left the music. The music was left on, so we're just gonna do it something like that. There, that looks great. Okay, there we go. All right, so, oh my goodness, you guys, this prophetic encounter was so powerful. Honestly, I had no idea what to expect. I came all the way out from where I was living, and I said, okay, I'm just going to go and see what happens in this prophetic experience. Let me just see how this encounter goes. And I can tell you guys, this was so incredibly powerful. This was one of, I wasn't expecting this. Let's just, I just like, okay, so I can't say that this experience went beyond my expectations, but everything worked out perfectly. So I left. I left for my journey from Puerto Vallarta. I went immediately to Guadalajara in the middle of the night. Well, it was like 7 a.m., which feels like really early in the morning for me, to catch my bus to get my hair done, because like I wasn't about to go and meet some of these people with some nippy edges. Okay. So I was like, okay, I need to make sure that my edges is looking good. So I ended up going to this conference, and I stayed one. I arrived. I took a bus from Guadalajara to Anyway, anyways, fast forward all that stuff, because I wanted to include you guys, but sometimes I just kind of need to be. I need to have my own thoughts alone. I need to sit down. I need to be in a place where I can just kind of let things flow prophetically, so I can listen, so I can be in the flow of things. This was so important to me. So as I just, oh my gosh, how I don't even know where to begin really. So I stay in this place, and it's like $77 a night, which, I mean, compared to what I was paying, was already expensive. Why am I telling you this? Because it's going to start unfolding about understanding the prophetic. So I stay in this hotel, and I'm like, look, I just need a place to sleep for a little bit, because I mean, I guess I don't really know, like, I just need a place to stay because I'm tired. I just arrived from Mexico 3 a.m. in the morning, and I need to rest. So there was this email that was sent out that said we needed to, like, something about a premiere day. I end up going to another hotel because, like, I think they hadn't vacuumed in I don't know how long, days, weeks, months, whatever. And so I'm like, maybe it's not in my best interest to stay here. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. Like, no, we're good here. So I left. I got to another hotel. I had the Uber driver just stay because, look, I'm carrying multiple things. Can you just please wait a moment? Because I'm like, what if I don't like it? I went there and I was like, it's acceptable, but I think I can do much better. And what was so funny was I heard God say, stop being stubborn. Because I was like, well, I really want to hold on to the money that I have. And I was just literally fighting like against the flow, which said, just stay here. And I was like, well, I don't really. And so I just heard, don't be stubborn. Like, just go back and claim what is yours. Go back there and stay in the place where you know it's meant to be for you. So I'm like, okay. I left. I sat at the hotel. I was like, oh my gosh, this place is expensive. I'm going to go online because I'm talking to you guys about how I travel, right? I'm talking to you guys. I'm showing you, listen, sometimes it's really important for me to travel this way. I need to go online and look up on, what are the prices. Some prices are a little better than others for travel. So I'm like, I don't really know what to make of this situation. I just feel like, you know, yeah, this is going to be really important for me to just leave. I have to stay in this hotel. So I'm sitting in the lobby. I'm like pulling up my phone. I'm like, is it cheaper on through the like application? Is it cheaper in person? Is it cheaper when you call the corporate office and make a reservation? Which is better? At the time I'm doing that, I'm like, well, maybe I should go to a hostel because I just don't know. And then I sit in the lobby, and the moment where I was like, no, I told the woman, take me to the Renaissance Hotel. Can I tell you, when I got to the Renaissance, there was a woman who was coming in, and I was like, okay, she looks like the type of person who's going to come to this conference, this prophetic conference. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't really know. Like, I didn't tell really anybody what it was about because I did not need any sort of interception or interference or anything like that. And I was like, okay, so I'm just going to keep it like 100% quiet. I'm just going to like see what happens. And I'm just going to tell people, yeah, I'm just going to go. I don't know what to expect or anything like that. And can I tell you, honestly, it was one of the coolest, most exciting experiences. This girl came up to me and I was like, are you here for the conference with, who we met up with? And she's like, yeah, I'm here too. I'm like, okay, so what are you doing? She was telling me she's here to check in, that there was a premiere day. And I was like, okay, one of these prophets had come on. I had a session with him and a few years back, and I was like, okay. And he said, powerful. He was very generous with his time. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm happy to come there. But I'm not sure. I'm going to maybe just wait until tomorrow because the email I got was really cryptic. She's like, girl, you paid your ticket, right? Come on. So can I tell you, I got there on time, earlier than everybody else. And I got this laminate, which was the day earlier. I was really going to stay an additional day. My friends in Puerto Vallarta were like, just get your hair done and come back. Leave your stuff. It's going to be okay. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like maybe, maybe not. So I go on. I go with them anyway. I'm like, okay. I tell them I have to go. I can't stay. And wow, this is just like, I'm just like piecing everything together. So I'm sorry, it's a mess now. I get to this conference. We end up having like the most amazing, outstanding time with everybody there. I mean, really, the presence of God was so heavy and powerful. I didn't really know what to expect, if it was interactive or what. The first day was like, oh, wow, that was a lot. I'm so happy I have my hotel so I can literally go up the stairs, take a nap, and come right back down. So it was just like, this was powerful. This is overwhelming. This was like earth quaking for me. And I was just really excited to like have an experience where I would be in the presence of other people who are also what they call outliers, people who don't fit inside of the box. Now, that's most of us, isn't it? Unapologetic gang. That's most of us. We don't fit inside the box. We don't really do as society expects or wants us to. When we look at my example, like, I'm led by the spirit, really. I mean, who just up and leaves Seattle? I mean, I didn't know what I was doing up there. I'm like, okay, I'm studying neuroscience and business. I mean, what, I was just working out. I got here and I don't know why I'm here. I just want to leave. Why am I in Seattle? And then I heard leave. So sometimes it was a period of waiting and I wasn't even sure what that was about. So let me explain to you a little bit about the office of the prophetic, because I feel like I've kind of been babbling for a little bit longer. And if you made it, thank you so much for your patience. Let me explain to you what the prophetic office and the prophetic gift is. So the Bible says it's defined as one who speaks for another. A true prophet is a person who speaks for God, delivering these messages that God tells them to give you. So sometimes I've encountered some of these, but let me be clear. Prophetic is not psychic. I got sucked into that. I've told you guys a lot about my own experience and a testimony there. I was genuinely sucked in by psychics. Oh, go and study this, or go and this person knows more. These tarot cards can tell you a little bit better than God can. This is somebody who, in the name of Jesus, is coming and sharing this information to you. And it's like, I have to be honest, at first, before I had really gotten into this for the past year or two, I was incredibly skeptic. And then I started realizing that these were honestly gifts and offices in which I had been called all of my whole life is just a prophetic flow. Things that you don't expect to say are just going to come out. Messages that people were saying, oh, we were just talking about that. Even in the message where I shared with you guys validation and activation. So validation is even like, oh, yeah, that's not good. I'm sad you didn't do that either. All of this was just a flow of people. So from my very first encounter, from the second I got to that place, it was prophetic. That Renaissance Hotel was prophetic. From to the moment where I left, it was prophetic from that Renaissance Hotel. I have to say and really be clear with you that it hasn't really stopped. The whole situation, I just kind of felt that something very powerful and spiritual and amazing was about to happen. The person who I went to see, her event, I've shared her with you guys before, and it was just powerful. She is really a good land, a good place to sow some seed. And so I was overwhelmed. I feel like I'm like getting so overwhelmed now, like, just calm, Ren. I feel like I'm getting very overwhelmed even now, because this was powerful. I was not expecting the experience that I had, which was just overwhelmed, really. And to be in a room with other people who were just as on it as I was. And I was just like this. Where have I was called to the right place, but like I feel like it was just everything was waiting for me to be there. I actually I got a book from someone who sat next to me, who I had been listening to her speak 3-4 times in some of these different classes. I've been sharing with you guys that sometimes it's really important, even if you have nothing. I've done that. When I have nothing, I have to invest in my education. I told you when I was dropped out of law school, I had literally no money in my pocket. I was bartending, and then God just put an end to that. I was always fired from every job I've ever worked after a month, 2 weeks, whatever. And it was a cycle. So it was just kind of like, not because I was the worst, but because I wasn't meant to be in that box. So this is to you when you are in a space and it doesn't seem to keep working. Sometimes it's not something so negative or scary or freaky. Sometimes it's just, I am being called to something else. And that's really exciting, no matter how scary or weird it comes off. Like, it just, everything seemed to work out. So the flow was, from the moment I got there, we were led by prayer. There were speaker upon speaker upon speaker upon speaker upon speaker, and then break, speaker, break, prayer, break, pray. And I genuinely loved everybody who had been there. I genuinely loved the interaction with people, and literally it felt like iron sharpening iron. And people who have this gift, this prophetic gift, just prophesying to one another after they continued to speak, and knowing like, oh my goodness, this was so powerful. This is so powerful. I just loved it so much. This was just like, some things I'm not really ready to share. I know it's just some things really have to be kept between me and the people that were there, and me and God, and just my own personal experience. But wow, you guys, this is so powerful. Like, oh, this was so powerful. So the takeaway from this, I mean, I'm still in a space of profound processing that it's not that I wasn't ready for this experience, because we talked about that. Sometimes um, God will only show us what we're ready to see. So I've been, a lot of the things I was seeing, it's powerful. Other people are seeing it, and just really talking and speaking to the gifts of other people. And if somebody comes up to you and they're just telling you that God wanted you to tell them that, I want you to give them a chance, and know that they are coming in, and it's going to be good. Sometimes, though, the words that are given are not immediately. Sometimes it takes 10, 11, 12 years for it to happen, but it's something that God wants you to know, that is being sown into your soul. So in this conference, we talked about everything. Not everything, but really a whole like plethora of areas in life where it was just like we really need God to speak to. A woman came in who was talking about a supernatural pregnancy. Like, oh wow, how did that happen? She had something called fibroids, and all of a sudden they were just up and removed. And she was going to try IVF, and God just like, she was shown, no, God put the hand there and said, you're going to do it the natural way so people will know it's me. There were people who had prophetic relationships. So this woman had been barren for, gosh, I don't know, not necessarily barren, but she was unable to have children, barren. And she was praying for other people in this area, and she's like, okay, you told me to do this. Like, it was just awesome. She just turned 40. And then there was another person who, he and his wife, that was a prophetic relationship. It was just literally like, whoa, okay, that had to have been God, because it wasn't me. You're not really my type. And now they're doing all kinds of awesome ministry stuff together, and talking to other people about their relationships. Then another woman, she is very awesome. She had some relationship. She has this anointing for finances. Things just kind of start flowing to her really quick and easy. When getting prayers from all of these people, or people who are just talking about being in the wilderness, a lot of times we are way showers, we're pioneers. So, when I'm thinking about my own experience and I'm like, okay, I'm going to Mexico and I have no money, and what should I do? And people are like, just take the money from the lawsuit, just do it. I mean, you need the money. And it's like, but it doesn't feel right to do that. I was really going through it, but I was just like, nothing could have helped me. That was literally an act of God. So for these things, it's really exciting to have. It's really exciting to be in a room of people. Toward the end, everybody got in a line, and this woman had all these incredible, not even just prayer intercessors, but people who had this gift, the prophetic gift. And everybody showed up, and you got into a different person's line, and I was like, where is my spirit leading me? At the beginning of this, we wrote down what we were not going to leave the table at this conference until God fulfilled 3 things. One prophet spoke to 2 of the areas, and I was like, oh my goodness, it was so awesome. And so I really want to give this like very exciting report to you guys about my experience in this. People who had really just listening to the voice of God is so powerful. And you know, sometimes we don't want to. I mean, I can't tell you how many times people have said, Marinike, can I pray for you? Can I talk to you about God? And I'm like, all right. Like, I mean, I don't really have time to listen to all this. I'm just kind of like, I'm not in the space to listen. I'm not in the space to hear. I'm not really like 120% fascinated by wanting to share this experience or even listening. But as I learned as well, like it's just seeds, right? There was, I mean, I talked to you guys about some of the journey I had to even getting here, fasting and being like, you know, running into some walls, being kind of confused by some of the things that are out in the new age, and like it's new age is kind of witchcraft, and being like, oh my gosh, ancestral stuff that's like causing issues now. I mean, going through all the deliverance and everything like that, and being like, whoa, how did I even get to this point, right? Where some people have been in the church all of their lives. I'm so new to this. I'm playing catch up. I'm in everybody's boot camp. I got Joshua Salmon on midnight. Well, you know, I'm busy. I'm listening to Miles Monroe. I got MFM services going on. I've got Apostle Tim hanging out there. We're doing deliverance every like 2-3 days, and we're going through all kinds of prayer in the morning and the night. I'm praying all day. I'm fasting. I'm like, you know, I'm like going through a lot of like, okay, this is boot camp. And Isaiah Salvador, who has been huge and really, you know, really like blown me into a different spiritual realm. So a lot of this, and Dr. Alexis, so all of these things have just kind of been like boot camp where everybody else had this. I'm like, okay, what's a spiritual spouse? Okay, like Googling, YouTubing, going through it, praying. Okay, soul ties, I've heard of that, but how many do I have? I could have that with this type of person, casting out demons. I mean, everything. So it's been like such a heck of a ride. It was really exciting. And I want to share with you guys that when you feel this unction and you feel the spirit to want to share a message with someone, just try to pray and make sure like, wow, this might be God. And I might need to like take this person out of pain today. It really just shifted a lot of my mentality and my mind frame. I have another video upcoming, so you can meet some of the people I'm meeting too. And it's been an interesting journey. And yeah, so I'm just really excited to share that with you guys. I have, oh, excuse me, yet another treat. Oh, yeah, so I want to share with you guys some information about my experience in Guadalajara. And I think it's just like the bee's knees. There's times where I really need to be at a beach. Sometimes I really need to be in the mountains. Sometimes I need to be in valleys. And other times I just need to be in cities. So I've got that upcoming and premiering, and I really hope you get a chance to tune in. It's really good. I really enjoyed bringing you that video. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I am really excited to kind of like update you and share a lot of the rest of the experiences that I'm having. And not that it's like the rest and that's the end. We know I'm always somewhere new, right? Mentally, physically, spiritually. I don't know. It's always something new. It's like a, you know, I was gonna say it's a channel. This is literally my channel. What I got going on today. This is what I got going on, y'all. So my love to you from Texas. I was in Dallas this morning and then I left, but I'm still in the state of Texas. I'll see you soon. All right, guys, take care. Bye.